This is lesson 5 of our Photoshop for Beginners Masterclass. In today's video, we are going to learn how to master the pen tool in Photoshop. If you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe to my channel. And if you are old here, thanks so much for clicking this video. Let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is to open my Photoshop. So I'll create a new layer and I want to use A5. So I'll go to File, I'll select New, then I'll come to Print and I'll look for A5. So Photoshop has already saved some preset for us, so I'll select A5 and the orientation, I want it landscape. I'll leave my resolution 300, everything like that, and I click on Create. We have our background here, so let's start with the pen tool. Fundamentally, the pen tool is used to draw a straight line, so from one point to the other point. So let me demonstrate. I have point A and point B here, so I'll have to select my pen tool, and this is my pen tool. But then I want us to use a shortcut to the pen tool, and when you press the letter P, the pen tool will be selected. So always remember the letter P. So I'm pressing P and you will see it will be selected. So P, and the pen tool is selected. So I'm drawing a line from point A to point B. So this is the pen tool, and assuming, okay, you are not seeing your pen tool like this, all right, and it's like this, okay. If it's like this, you will have to press your caps lock. So when you press your caps lock, it changes. So that's how it should look like. So I'll select, so I'll make a point at A and I'll make another point at B, and we've got our straight line. Okay, also the pen tool, aside drawing straight line, the pen tool can be used to draw curved lines. So let me demonstrate that also. So I'll click, okay, so I'll make a point at A. Okay, so let me go back. All right, so let me start again. Let me delete the first point. Okay, so I'll start at A, I'll make a first point, and B, this time around I want a curve. So this way. So the pen tool can be also used to get a curve or make curve lines. Let's do this. So I'll stand at A and I'll make a point. So point A and point B. Okay, so there's a curve. All right, and you can see it has a handler. Okay, it has a handler, and this handler controls the curve. Okay, so if you're looking at it well, you can realize it controls the curve. So wherever I send it to, it controls it. So when I pull, when I drag in, you see it controls the curve. Okay, and this handler, okay, you can break it. So assuming I want to break the curve, okay, to this side. Okay, I want to do this. After that, I'll take you through one after the other how to do all these things. But I want you to understand, get the fundamentals. So you see this curve that is here, okay, now I've pushed it, okay, I've pushed it here. All right, and that is where I want my second curve to be. So when I click here, okay, you see I've got my second curve, and it's influenced by the handler here. Okay, so you see the handler here. Okay, I'm bringing it below to this side. All right, and let me stand at this point, and you realize that it goes to that angle. It goes to that angle. Okay, so let me do for the next one another curve. Okay, and this time around, let me bring the curve below. Let me go back. And let me bring the curve, let me do it this way. All right, and after doing this way, I want to click here. This time I'm not clicking here. So look at it very well. I'm clicking here, and you see the difference. You see, it starts from it goes here, because that was where I placed my handler. My handler was in that direction. So this was why. So now let me take you through how you can use the pen tool very well. All right, so let me take out my A as well, and let me go back. Let me press P on my keyboard to select my pen tool. So when you want to start with your pen tool, depending on what you want to achieve, but this is what I want to do. I want to bring some flies here so that we try them. Okay, so as a beginner, what I would advise, okay, to master the pen tool, what I would advise, that you can visit Pinterest, or you can just go to Google, make a Google search. You can search for flies, maybe school flies, like any form of flyer, like at all. Okay, so you search these flies, and when it comes up, you look at the flies well, the ones like shape that are in the flies that you think the pen tool can be used to achieve. Okay, then you download those flies and you try. Okay, you try to use the pen tool to mimic those shapes. Even you can even use the pen tool to even draw a circle, to draw a square, to draw any shape at all you want. So any flyer you see online, you can pick it up, and you try using the pen to mimic that particular shape. Okay, and I think by doing so, you'll be able to master. So this is the advice I'll give to you watching. So let me do this demonstration. So before I bring the flyer here and we try, let me do this. Okay, so I want to stand here. So I want to make a curve. Okay, I want to make a curve like this, so it goes this way, okay, and comes down. All right, so this is how I'll be able to achieve. So I'll have to start at one point. Okay, so I can either stand at one point like this, okay, or let me delete it, or I'll stand at one point like this. And you see, always remember that the handler, okay, there's the handler, it influenced the curve. So let me demonstrate so that we get it. So I'm starting with the first one without the handler. So I'm just going to make a dot. Okay, so I'm just going to make a starting point. So that's my starting point. All right, and this has no handler. So I'll stand here, all right, and I'll come here. Okay, so this one, it has a handler, all right, and it's going to influence the curve. So what I did to be able to achieve it, so I think we should start now. So what I did to be able to achieve it was that when I came here, okay, I will have to left click. Okay, so I have to left click, and to make a point, you just have to left click. So let me start. So you just have to left click, and you've made a point. All right, so coming back, so I'm coming here. Okay, I want to draw my next curve, so I want to make my curve now, and this time around I want the handler. And if you want the handler, what you have to do is that you have to press and hold. So you left click and you hold. So right now I've left click, I'm still holding my pointer. Okay, and you can drag up or you can drag down. So no matter however you want it to look like, that is how you do it. So this is the curve now. You get it. So this is how to be able to achieve or to get the handlers. All right, and the handlers, we have this side and we have that side. Okay, so how I'm doing this curve, I want to move forward. Okay, so I want to go in this direction, not backwards, so forward direction. And that is what I'll advise. I mean, there are more advanced forms. Okay, there are more advanced things you can do with a pen tool, but as a beginner, I want to take us through, I mean, one after the other, step by step. Okay, so I don't confuse you. So the handler, okay, and I said the handler controls the curve. So this handler, okay, if I come here, this how, you see, this how my next curve will be, and that is not how I want it to look like. So I will have to delete it and I'll start all over. So you see this, I've deleted it and my handlers are not there. They have to be there. So to be able to, I'll have to come in again and I'll activate it. So I just want to use the word activate. So I'll activate the curve, okay, and I have my handlers there. So I'll have to break this handler, okay, and if I want to break that handler, I'll press on my Alt and I'll left click. Okay, it didn't work. Okay, so I'll repeat it again. Okay, so I press on Alt and I left click, and you realize that it has changed. So now I can drag my handler anywhere I want. But this time around, I don't need this handler, so I'm just dragging it in. I don't want it, so that the next curve I want to do, I'll be able to go to any direction I want. So I want to decide where I want the curve to be. I don't want the handler to do that for me. So the next one, I'll come here, okay, and when I stand, okay, I press and I hold. So right now I've pressed, okay, after left clicking, I'm still holding my mouse, and you see I could come below this way. You get it? And when I'm done, I still press on my Alt and I left click and I drag it in. I don't want it. So that same way. So when I'm done, the last one, I still come back, all right, and I left click whilst I'm holding my mouse, and I can drag to achieve my curve. Oh, this doesn't look really good, but I will take it like that. Okay, so now I'll have to come back again. Okay, so I'll drag it in. Then, so I want the shape to be at the top, not below. So I'll go to the top. Okay, I'll click here again, and I'll come back. And when I want to complete the shape, wherever I started from, I'll have to come back, okay, to complete it. So I'm coming back to wherever I started from. And you see, when I come back, you realize that the pen tool changes. You see an O there, it means completion. You see the O, it means completion. So when I click, I've completed it. And I can come into my fill and I can change the colors. I can change the colors to whatever color I want. Or I can come to my FX, I come to my color overlay or gradient, whatever I want, I can select it. And then you see it's in black, so the color has changed to any color that I want. I can choose, and when I'm done, I press OK. So this is how to use the pen tool. So let me bring some flyers and let's try our hands on. Let's get more dirty. Right, let's get our hands dirty. So I have this flyer here, and also this lesson 5 of our Photoshop for Beginners Masterclass. So please, if you haven't watched lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3, lesson 4, please kindly go back and start watching them, because here you get confused. Because if you don't have the fundamentals and you just move straight to this tutorial, you get confused. So please kindly go back to lesson 1, start from lesson 1 and start practicing from lesson 1. Okay, because here that I am, this not now, I'm teaching the workspace, I'm teaching the toolbar, I'm teaching panels, I'm teaching menu bar, I'm showing how to create a file, how to open a file, how to see. I'm not doing that in this tutorial. So kindly go back to lesson 1 and start watching from lesson 1. Let's get our hands dirty. So as I said, to use the pen tool, the shortcut is P. So I'm pressing P on my keyboard and the pen tool is selected. So this is my pen tool. All right, so we want to draw the shape below. Okay, and this shape, you can't get this shape here. Okay, so in our shape bar here, we can't get that shape there. So we have to be able to achieve it, unless you draw it by yourself. So let's go. So to use the pen tool, this time around, I don't need a handler. Okay, my starting point, I want it straight, so I don't need a handler. When I use a handler, it means the handler is going to determine my curve, but I don't want a handler. So I'll just start by making a point. Okay, so I'll just left click. I've made my first point. No, it's not done. Okay, so I can't see my pen tool, so let me press caps lock. So when I hit on caps lock, the pen tool comes. Oh, it's not selected. So it's not selected because I'm online. Okay, so let me press P. Okay, so this line, I mean this. All right, so let me press P to select my keyboard. Okay, so my pen tool is selected now, so I'll make a point. So I'll just left click. I've made my first point, and to draw this shape, okay, so I'll stand, let me say here. Okay, and let me make my curve. So this time around, I'm right clicking. Okay, I'll left click. Okay, when I'll left click and I'll hold, I won't leave it. So I've left click and I'm still holding it. So I'll just control with my mouse. Okay, so you are just mimicking this. Okay, so as a beginner, try these things. Go to my Pinterest, download some of my flyers and try using the pen tool to achieve the shapes in the flyer. Okay, and it will go a long way. That is how you can master it. Because if you tell me you're going to make a flyer and you just want to go straight with the pen tool, maybe you don't even know the kind of shape you even want to create. But by going through this tutorial, by going to pick sample flyers, trying to replicate them, it will help you. It will help you grow. That is the only way, because that was what I did. That was the training I passed through before I was able to use the pen tool. Right, so let's continue. So I think this is good, so I'll leave it. And now I have my handless there and I need to move forward. If I come, okay, so let me try join the last shape. Okay, so let me make the curve. Okay, so let me make a point and let me still hold it. So I'll left click and I'm still holding it, and you can realize that I won't be able to achieve. You see how it's looking like. You see, I won't be able to achieve it. Even if I drag it in, I won't be able to achieve it because of the handler. So I'll have to delete it. So so assuming you drew something, okay, with a pen tool and you don't like it, you just have to press your backspace. So it's a tutorial we started, so please follow. At this point, if you don't follow, you get lost. So I beg you, follow. Okay, so I'll press on my backspace to delete it. And this time around, you can see my handlers are not there. Okay, so look at this. I'm trying to make my next point. I don't have my handlers there. They are not there. Okay, I'm trying to make my next point, and let's see if that will work. So let's see what will happen. So look at it. I know it won't work, but I want to demonstrate it so that when you go through this, you know your way around. So you see, it's like me starting a new point altogether. You could see from our layers, you could see I'm drawing a new shape. Okay, with my pen tool. Okay, so this is it. So I'm deleting it. So backspace to delete it, and then I come back to the shape I'm already working with. Okay, with my pen tool. So you can realize that it's here. Okay, so this was how it was. So to continue, okay, you'll have to come back and I'm using the word activate. Okay, so activate the shape you are working on. So just come back to the tip of it. Okay, and you see when I come, okay, you could see a short bar below. Okay, you see when I drag it out, it's not there. But when I drag it there, okay, it's there. So I just have to left click again. So when I left click, you see the handless comes. Alright, so it means it's active. I will have to press my Alt. Okay, so I press Alt and I left click. Okay, so after left clicking, you see the arrow changes, and I'll drag this handler in. Okay, I'm dragging the handler in, okay, so that handler doesn't determine my curve. Look at this handler here. Okay, you see this one is the one at the back. That is why it's not able to determine anything. It's not able to do anything. Okay, so let me undo that. All right, and let me continue. So I'm still coming back to activate it. This is very important too. So I've activated again. Then I'm drawing my next curve. All right, so I'll leave my mouse pointer here. Okay, and I'll press our left click. So I'll left click and still hold it. So I've left click, I'm still holding it, and I use my mouse, okay, to position it where I want it to be. And you look at it. Great. So I'm done. I'll still drag my handler in by pressing my Alt, and I'll left click. All right, and I drag it in. Okay, so now I want the shape to be below, so I just come down. Okay, the same thing. If you want your curve straight, okay, you just have to press your shift. So sometimes you want the shape to come straight. Okay, so you just have to press shift. So right now I'm holding on my shift and I'm going to left click, and you realize this is a straight line. And I'll come back to where I started from. You see, as I said earlier, when you start, you have to finish. So when I come to where I have to end, you realize that it tends to 0. You see now it's not, but when I bring it, it tends to 0. and you hit it. Now my shape is complete, and I can change the color from the top to any color that I want, and I'm good. If I don't want the colors here, I can come to my FX. In any ways, any of them, you can use any of them to achieve what you want. This is green. I press OK, and I've been able to achieve it. So this is how to use the pen tool. Okay, so let's do the next demonstration. All right, so let me come to this label I created. So I have this watch label here, and we are using the pen tool to achieve it. All right, so I'll unlock my background. Okay, and I'll hit on P to select the pen tool. Okay, so we are drawing a shape here. So we are drawing it from this side to this side. All right, so we want it to go to this side. You can also draw to that side as well, but we want it this side. I want it this side. So any of the side, you can do it. All right. So I'm starting, and this time around also, I don't need the handles. I just want something straight. So I'll stand somewhere here. Okay, I'll make a point by left clicking. When I'm done, I'll come to the middle. You see, when you are drawing it, okay, be careful. You see, from here to here, it's a curve. So when I stand in the middle, and from here, it's also a curve. So when I stand inside the middle of these curves, okay, I'm going to get here as a fine curve. All right, but assuming I stood here and I came to stand here, that I should be able to get the curve from here and pass to the side. Please, it's not possible. No shortcut to heaven. No shortcut. So you let me demonstrate it, then you see. So when I come here, all right, you see, so I left click and I hold, and you realize it's not possible. No shortcut to Baba. No shortcut to heaven. All right, so I have to delete it with my backspace. So delete, and I'm going back to activate it. Very important, activation. So activate the tool you are working on, the particular shape you are working on. Then this time you come to the middle, okay, so that you can get this curve. From there you come next, then you get your next curve very nicely. Okay, so here I'm here. Okay, so I'm going to right click. Why is right click disturbing me? I'm going to left click. Let me see if right click even works. It won't even work. Okay, when you right click, this will pop up. It won't even work. But I don't know why my mouth is saying right click. It's left. Okay, so left click. So I'll left click and I'll hold, okay, to draw my curve. So left click and I hold. You see, so use your mouse cursor, your mouse, okay, to achieve it. So when I'm done, I don't need a handler. So to take out a handler, you press Alt. Okay, you press Alt and you left, okay, right, and you left click, okay, and you see it changes. You drag it in. When you are done, you come below here. Okay, you can also put it here, but the point is, as you are working, okay, maybe if you are putting the image inside, some of the parts will show, okay, which is not appropriate. Okay, so you just have to come outside your layer and you draw. Okay, so you make your point. So I'm making my point by left clicking and I hold. Left click, I hold, and I drag. Okay, so as you are dragging, okay, you let me finish because I can't show that now. Okay, so I'm done. So I have to press Alt, I left click, and I drag it in. So what I was saying earlier, whilst you are dragging, okay, you have to be checking this side. This is very important. So you can even zoom, okay, so that you can see it very well. Okay, so I'll come back. Okay, so to this point, this here is just straight line. So a straight line, anyhow I want it to be. It's outside my layer. Police won't catch me. All right, so when you are done, so right now I'm done. So this, I can come to my move tool. So I can press on Vin, shortcut Vin to select my move tool, and I can duplicate it. Okay, so I want to achieve the stroke. Okay, so this is a stroke, but I just want to duplicate, and I make the shape that is at my foreground, I make it white. Okay, so I'll duplicate, Ctrl J. All right, so I'll make this shape. So I can press on my pen tool again, and I'll come to fill, and I change the color to white. After I press on my move tool and I drag it, okay, you realize that I'll be able to get my curve. So I can select all the two Okay, I press Ctrl T to transform, and then I can position it anywhere. You see, it's there. This is it. It's there. You get it? It's there. If you want to clip mask, I've made tutorial on that. So I think lesson 4. I think lesson 3 and lesson 4 is there. So kindly check that out. Okay. All right. So there we go. We are done. So the next flyer for demonstration is I have this flyer I made. They're all on Pinterest. Okay. So I made this flyer for Naya Miss Photogenic Challenge. Okay, so I'll unlock the background and I'll press on my P to select my keyboard and to select my pen too. Okay, so these are straight. All right, these are straight. Okay, so this is what will happen. I'll just stand here. Okay, so I'll make a point here. I'll come here. Okay, at this point also, I'll make a point there. I get a straight line. Okay. If you are not still, it means where I stood. Okay, so I can delete it. So I can come back. So I can even stand here. When I'm done, I can drag in. So I can even stand here. Okay, I make my next point. Good. I make my next point. Good. I make my next point. Good. And when I'm done, the rest, the outside. Okay, so as I said, I can just drag it out. So I press V on my keyboard, Ctrl T to transform, and then I drag it out. And good. Okay, I don't know if I should show you this. I think I have to. I'm your teacher. I have to make sure you can become a designer. You see below here how this is. Let me help you out. Okay, maybe someone would like to replicate this flyer. So let me take you through. Okay, so I want to achieve the stroke here. So I'll duplicate this. Okay, so Ctrl J to duplicate this shape. So this particular shape I'm talking about, the one we use our pen to do just now. So Ctrl J to duplicate, and I make the one at my foreground. Okay, so the one below, I make the color white. So I press P, or I can just come here. Okay, but I don't want to come there. Let me just press. I can come to my FX and change the color. But I want to just go to my P and go to V, go to fill, and I change the color to white. And when I'm done, I just drag it. Okay, so that I can see. Below here, it wasn't showing. So let me do it properly. Inside. And you've been able to achieve it. So let's put the image in. Okay, so let me find any image at all. Let me fix it in and let's continue. So images. Okay, here I have this fine lady here. All right, so let me put her inside. So to do that, I made a tutorial on that, but let me repeat it. So you left click. Okay, you right click. Okay, so you select the subject. This is the subject, the image. So I'll left click, I'll right click, stick in my mouth, right click. So I'll right click and I'll look for create clipping mask. Okay, and I'll select it, and it's inside. Automatic is inside. And then I have to do the positioning well. Then I'll just drag it. Okay, and position it properly. Okay. And I think I'm good. So this how I want it, and we are good. We are there. So this was it. Okay. So I can select all as I've done. I hit Ctrl T to transform. The reason why I'm hitting on Ctrl T so that when dragging, I can drag it without any hindrances. Nothing is preventing me. What is happening? Something is not going right. Okay, I understand. Is the image inside? For that, it's just at one place. All right, so I think this is good. Let me drag it up. All right, so I hit enter, and I'll still position my image well. Right. There we go. So the next flyer, I have a next flyer here. Okay, so this is just demonstration. Let me hit on enter the next flyer. Let's go. All right, so we want to use the pen tool to draw this shape. Okay, so there is one shape below. Okay, so let's do that. So I'll press on P on my keyboard to select the pen tool, and I'll stand here. Okay, so I need this curve. Okay, I need this curve here and to this side. So from here to here is not the same. So I just stand here somewhere here. All right, and I'll transform. Okay, so this is it. So I'll press Alt and I'll left click. Okay, to drag it in. I don't need the handlers. And when I'm done, I'll come here. Okay, so this one, you see the focus is the outside. Okay, so what is in here, what is in here, and what is in here and there, the one that the circles are covering, nobody will see it. So even if I do zuguma like here, nobody will see it. You understand? I mean, what the viewer will see, that is where your focus should be. Okay, so the next one, I'll come here. So I'll stand here. I'll make a point by left clicking. So I'll left click and I'll hold. Remember, if you want the curve, you left click and you hold. So I'll left click. Once I hold, I'm still holding my pointer or my keza. Am I saying keza? I'm still holding my mouse. Okay, I'm still holding my mouse. I've pressed on left. Okay, and I'm still holding it. All right, so when I drag my mouse, okay, it goes. So that's how. Okay, so I drag my mouse, it goes. Okay, then when I'm done, I want to do another curve. So I will press on Alt and I'll left click once again. I'll drag it in. I don't need a handler. I'll come back. The next one, you see, I don't need, you see, this side is not important like that. So that way, hey, so the next one, the same thing. So Alt, left click, you drag it in, you go to the next. I'll make a point whilst I hold in. I make the curve and I'm good. Okay. Oh, that's not what I want, but even this side is not important, but I can delete it. So backspace to delete, and then I have to activate. Please remember, activation. So activate, so you just press it, you activate it. Then I'll drag this again in, and here they are just outside. Okay, so that same way. And when I'm done, I can draw my circles at the top. So to draw the circles, you come to the shapes here, you select your ellipse tool. After selecting, you press Shift, all right, Shift, and you left click and you draw. Right, please, it's inside my shape. The circle has gone inside. I don't want it so I'll undo. Okay, and I'll select my background and I'll draw. So I'll press Shift, I left click, I right click, Shift and I left click. All right, I'll left click and I'll drag it down. Okay, to get my circle. Okay, and I want the color as white. This time around, I'm going with stroke. Okay, so I want a stroke of white. I want a stroke of yellow. My inside is white. It's okay. So the stroke, let me make it 10 is okay. 10 is good. Okay, when I'm done, I press V on my keyboard to select the move tool. I position it well. Okay, I drag it to the top. It has to be at the top. Great. Okay. So I'll duplicate them. So either I press Ctrl J. Okay, so I'm showing to you. So Ctrl J and I duplicate and I drag it. Okay, and it's there. Or another way to duplicate, or I press Alt, I left click and I drag, and I'm good. So you could realize that there was a stroke. Okay, it's simple. Okay, you just have to duplicate. So let me just duplicate this. So Ctrl J to duplicate. So I'm duplicating this shape. Okay, so this entire one. So Ctrl J, I duplicate, and I change the color to, let me see, let me go into, okay, so let me make it this color. Let me hit on enter, and when I'm done, it's there. So I just hit on enter again, and I drag it down. Okay, so let me press V on my keyboard to get a move to, because I want to move it down. So I just use my navigator tools to drag down. Okay, and it's there. When I take this out, you see, you realize that it's there. It's there. Automatically, we are done creating this flyer. We are done. If you were following, you have a flyer. Okay, great. So this flyer, we are done. What is remaining is just the text. Okay, what is remaining in this flyer? Let me just bring to the top so we can all see. What is remaining in this flyer is just the text. Okay, you see, it's just, we are done. It's just the text. This rectangle, you can do it. At the top, you can do it. Okay, you can even use the pen tool to achieve it. The pen tool to draw the rectangle. You'll be good. Okay, so this flyer, we are done. Literally, we are done. So I'm moving to, I think this will be the last one. Okay, I think last but one. Okay, so I have a banner here. This huge banner. Okay, so let me drag upwards. I have this huge banner here. So I'll unlock the background, and we want to achieve this shape. And the pen tool will help us, because we won't get this shape anyway. So I'll select P on my keyboard, and I'll make a point. Okay, so I'm starting with a point, but this ruler will disturb me. So I'll have to take the ruler out. Okay, so I just drag the ruler somewhere. I don't need you. All right, so I press V and P to select the pen tool. And then I'll make a point here. Okay, and I have to make my next point, and I drag to make a curve. Okay, so from here to this side, I think it's a curve. Okay, it's a curve. This side going to is another curve. Okay, so from here is one curve, and it rests here, and this side is another curve. So I'll have to find out where the rest is. Okay, so where the rest. So let me just put it out here. Okay, so that the understanding will come. So let me stand out where they rested. Okay, this is rested on the 7th day. Okay, so good. So I'll left click. Okay, so I'll left click and hold, because this, I want a curve. So I'll left click and hold. So whilst holding, okay, I drag my mouse to get to the curve. So you see, as a beginner, once I drag it, it may go up, it may go down. Okay, okay. However, little by little, you see, as you drag it down up, the curve goes down. Top, it goes top. Okay, when you drag down, it goes top. When you come here, you see, so when I drag in, and you realize that, you see, I have to drag top, and it's a little by little, and we are there. Okay, I'm done. So I have to drag it in. Okay, so with the help of my Alt, I press on Alt, I left click, and I drag it in. Okay, so from here to here is a curve to this side. So here will be another curve, but from here to here is resting. So let me just say, so let me just stand here. Okay, this will worry me, but okay, let me use this ruler. Okay, so I'll stand here. So I'm left clicking, and I'm still holding it. So I've left click, and I'm still holding it. So now I make that curve. Okay, all right, and I'm so it means that is not what I want. You see, I'm not really getting it. Okay, so it means where I stood. So it means I have to come forward a bit. So I'll be deleting. So after deleting, you realize that the initial bar here, okay, the initial handler here is gone. So I'll have to activate. If you don't activate it, you'll be drawing a next shape. Okay, so you look at it. So I make it, you see, it's gone. You get it. So I'll just press backspace to delete the new one, and I come and activate it, and it's there now. So this time I'll come to the top a bit. Okay, so I'll left click whilst I hold, and I use my mouse. I draw the shape. Didn't work. It won't work. It didn't work. It means I don't have to go far, rather I have to come below. So I delete it, I'll come back and activate it. I mean, this is helping. Okay, as a beginner, you go through all these things. So I mean, I have to come down a bit. Okay, so I'll stand here. Let's click whilst I hold and I drag. Let's see, and we are there. We're not really getting it that fine, but this good. Okay, so I'll come out. So I press Alt, I drag in, and the next one. So the next one from here to here is also one straight. So I can stand here. Okay, it's one fine curve. Okay, so I'm still holding my shift. Okay, I've still left click. Okay, and I'm still holding it, and I'll use my mouse. Okay, so let's see if this works. We'll make it work, and you see because it says fine curve, it worked. So I'm done. I'll just have to drag it in with the help of my Alt, and I left click and I drag it in, and I'm good. So now I have to end the shape. Okay, so let me zoom out in. Okay, and should I send it? So I can send it to the top or the down. Anyways, it's fine. Okay, so I'm bringing it below. So below 1, below 2, and where I started from, I need to end it, and I've ended it. So I press V on my keyboard. I want to make it a bit bigger. I made it a bit bigger because of this side. So I hit enter and I drag it below. So right now I want to get the stroke here. Okay, so I can just duplicate, Control J, and I send this in. Okay, I drag it down, and then I press P again to select the pen tool, and I go to fill at the top. I change this color. It was black, right? Let me make it red. Okay, enter, and I'm good. So there we go. So we've been able to achieve this as well. The next one, which will be the last flyer, and I have this here. Okay, so it's a school flyer for Fairford Institute. Okay, so we are drawing this. Okay, so this last curve. All right, so I press P on my keyboard. I stand here, okay, to make a point. Okay, so this is the actual flyer. Okay, the ones behind are just how I present my flyer. Even these days, I've moved away from this. This is a flyer I made in 2024. Right. So I make a point by just left clicking, and then I'll make another point. By this time around, I'll left click to make the point. By this time around, I'll hold it. I won't leave the mouse. Okay, so I've pressed on I have to left click, so I've left click and I'm still holding it, and I'll have to drag it at the top to achieve it. And you see, it's not a fine curve, so it means I have to go back and correct this. So I'll delete it and I'll have to activate my shape. Okay, so I'll come back. Maybe let me stand it just here. Okay, so I've pressed and hold with the help of so with left click. So I just drag it to get a curve, and we are good. So I'll drag it in. I don't need a handler, so Alt left click, you drag it in, and the next one is it's straight, so you just come straight. And here it's not really important. The next one, which is important, it's the outside that is the most important. So the next one, which is here, the same way, I drag it in, and then the rest, let me say, is history. So I'll bring it to where I started from, and then we are good. So I'll just have to add my circles to it. So my circles, I'll click on my ellipse tool, the shape, this is the ellipse tool. I'll press on shift to get a round circle. So I'm holding shift and I'll drag. So I get my first circle, and the color, let me make it, okay, this color, and then let me add a stroke of white to it. So let me make the stroke 8. Good. So I'll duplicate. So I'll press V to select the move to, and I'll duplicate. So I'll duplicate here, And this, there was a stroke, so I just have to duplicate, Control J to duplicate, and I'll change the color to gray, and then I just drag it down, and we are good. But then the circles has to be on top, okay, and it's just arrangement on our layer. So I'll just have to select my circles and drag it to the top, and I'm good. This will be the end of today's tutorial. If you still want to master the pen tool, okay, now we've learned all the tricks, how to use the pen tool, we've learned everything. But as a beginner, you still need to practice, and practice make man perfect. So go to Pinterest, search for 2B Graphics. I have an account there. Follow my account, and the flyers that I've uploaded, download those flyers, okay, and try to replicate them with the help of the pen tool. You see, we've been able to create this entire flyer. We are done. So the rest left here is just the text. So you can also go there, create these same flyers. It's very easy. If you don't know how to add text, if you don't know how to add shapes, go to my subsequent tutorial. So check my lesson 3, check my lesson 2. You'll be able to achieve it. With the tools, I've also made tutorials on all the various tools in Photoshop, how to master them. If you check my videos, okay, it will be there, and check inside my description. I'm going to put the link there, so it's inside my description. Go into my description, you see the link to all the tools in Photoshop being explained, lesson 1 to lesson 5. The playlists are there. Go through the videos and you'll be able to master Photoshop. Thanks so much for watching lesson 5 video. I'll be uploading lesson 6 very soon, so check it out. Turn the bell notification on, subscribe to my channel so that when I upload lesson 6, you'll be notified. Thank you. See you in lesson 6.